Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here today to talk about Promising Young Woman. What? Marco, you saw that movie? I saw the trailer for that movie. It looked like a feminazi pile of shit. I know, I agree with you. Um, well, actually, I thought the trailer looked really good except for those feminazi elements. And so I went to see this movie Christmas Day, uh, and I wanted to on purpose just for, I thought that would make the perfect thing to do for Christmas Day, would be to go see a feminazi quote unquote horror movie, because I don't know what it was supposed to be, because it's basically about this girl who is going around pretending to be drunk and then being taken home by a guy who is basically just going to take advantage of her and rape her, and then she f's them up, question mark. I mean, it's tough because this movie, I really wanted to like it. Like, I was so much looking forward to it because of Carey Mulligan. I've seen her in Inside Llewyn Davis this year. I watched that movie like 6, 7 times this year because I like it so much. And so I was really excited to see this movie because she's starring in it, and I thought, oh, it's going to be like a horror movie. It's going to be really dark and really funny. You know, sure, there are going to be some feminazi elements, but I can overlook those if the movie's really good. But then I get into the movie, and it's tough because it starts out and it's what it was in the trailers, but there's no violence. And I'm like, what is going on? I wanted to watch an R-rated movie. It was false advertising. I'm telling you folks, do not go see this movie because there's no violence in an R-rated movie. I mean, what were they thinking? It starts out and it's like this great setup. It's like American Psycho. It pulled me in. It was like, this is gonna be really good. I know agendas all around in it, but still, people who write agendas still make good stories sometimes. And those agendas, basically what they do is they downgrade everything and pull the movie down from being good. And so, but there's no violence. And then it gives up on that plot to be another plot. And then it gives up on that plot to be another plot. By the end of the movie, I was fucking fed up. Let me tell you. No violence throughout the entire movie, even at the end. It's like, why? Why is this movie rated R? Because they say the word cunt? Because they say the word pussy, prick, dick, fuck, bitch, shit? Why is this movie rated R? And aside that, there's a lot of chick flick elements. Obviously with that, there's a lot of music that just keeps on playing. And the music is good. I mean, I don't think the music is bad, but I think that a lot of it could have been taken out because it just wasn't necessary. There's a lot of very random plot turns too. Like, there's this one part, this is not a spoiler, there's a lot of agenda scenes too. I mean, it opens up with this first thing happening, and I guess it's implied that she killed him or something because there's some blood on her, question mark. And she's eating this thing, a donut or something, and then of course you got the construction guys and they're catcalling her, quote unquote, because and oh, and she stops there and stares at them, and it's like, oh, look at what women have to deal with. And lots of very obvious agenda moments like that. And there's this one scene in particular that was really, really weird. And basically, she's sitting in the middle of an intersection, and then this guy comes up next to her and calls her the C word, and basically yells at her, just acting like a douchebag. He clearly didn't watch Unhinged. I mean, I don't understand what he was thinking. And then she gets out and she pulls out a tire iron and she starts destroying his car. And then he rides away. And this is the really weird part. They go up close to her, and then they play this like operatic music, and it's like, what? I don't get it. Like, what? What's going on? What? Like, is she victorious in something? Like, I don't understand. and it's like, it's too bad, because I think that one thing is that it gets really good in the third act. Basically, it has to do with her past and kind of her getting revenge on all the people from the past. I did not like that, because I thought that it was stupid, and it made her look worse, and it turned her into the bad guy. And I've seen this one movie from the 70s called The Rape Squad, which is basically about this group of women who, they were all raped by the same guy, and then they start killing other rapists or beating them up, and then it turns out the rapist was actually the boyfriend of the main girl, and then like he kills one of them, and then they get him, and that movie was actually pretty good. And I looked at all those women as heroes. But with this movie, I mean, the main woman wasn't even raped. I mean, she's not even a rape victim. She's just the friend of a woman who was raped brutally by this Brock Turner type of guy. And but she's taking revenge on all these people that did that, spoiler alert, or all the people like surrounding the incident, and it really makes her look horrible. I mean, she does there are tricks basically to make the people feel bad about themselves, and the stuff that she does is awful. I was kind of feeling sick watching this, like, even though they're obviously not going to show some of the stuff, but it's all like a trick, and it's like, God, she is evil. And then, of course, we get this sort of turn where something else happens, and we think that the movie is just kind of giving up again, because the movie just keeps on giving up. I mean, it's almost like the writer is scatterbrained, and they had a bunch of different ideas, and they just kept on changing their mind on what the movie was about. And there's this one point where everything looks honky-dory, which, we know is not going to be, because it's, a quote-unquote horror, thriller, comedy, revenge. I don't know what it is. It's a movie. It's a movie. and then we get this really disturbing part, which, that made me sick as well. And I'm glad we didn't see the video, because that would have probably made me want to leave the theater. And I'm not going to say what it was, or, obviously I said there's no violence, there's no rape the whole movie. But then we get this last part, which is like 20 minutes, and that 20 minutes, if that was the whole movie, I'd give this movie a standing ovation. I'd say it's the best movie of the year. I would say go see that movie. But it's unfortunate, because the movie is just very bland. It's very bland. It's got a lot of cringy agendas. Just a lot of whenever we have these feminist agendas, they're just so blunt and so misunderstanding. There's, it's like, they're saying that innocent until proven guilty is a sexist thing. There's this one guy, and he's writing a novel, and uh, and he's like, it's all about this guy, and it's like really gritty and dark, and it's saying like that sounds like trash just because it's about a guy. It's like these very just like weird, stupid things, and I was in the theater and it was like all men watching this movie. I mean, there wasn't a single woman watching this movie, and I don't think any women want to watch this movie because it doesn't really have anything in it for women besides chick flick romance stuff. And that's another thing. There's like this stupid romance. There's this lame romantic comedy elements, like the girl at work with her friend that she gossips to, and seen that all before, been there, done that. I wanted to like the movie. And as I said, the last 20 minutes were really good. The movie had a lot of great moments. Like all the moments in the trailer, this could have been a really good movie. Still, I enjoyed it. I think that it's okay. I think that definitely the best part is that last part for me, because that's when something kind of actually happens for once in the whole movie. But yeah, do not go see this movie. Just don't bother. For a rating, I would say that this movie is a big, giant stack of fucking Kroger cookies with sugary artificial frosting. Remember those cookies that you used to eat in school for birthday parties where kids would bring in cookies and they'd be like these gross white cookies with sugary artificial frosting, and it just tasted like artificial, and that's this movie, a big stack of those. And it's unfortunate. Once again, I wanted to like it. I gave it a chance. I watched the whole movie on Christmas Day. a great way to spend Christmas. Not. And I would also say one thing is that the main woman, Carey Mulligan, I hope I got her name right because I really liked her in this movie. She was really good. And, even though I have problems with the whole movie, I think that she was really good, and she deserves an award. An award from a respectable award ceremony, not the Oscars. But yeah, she deserves an award because I think that she was perfect. There wasn't one scene where I said, like with the other feminazi movies where the actresses are terrible. No, in this movie, she's perfect. And she deserved a better movie. I'm telling you, she deserved like a really good script instead of this crap. And so, yeah, overall, do not go see this movie. Spoiler alert from here on out. Basically, she goes to the bachelor party where the bad guy is at, Brock Turner type of guy. And, I was really excited. Let me tell you, I thought maybe there wasn't any violence the rest of the movie, but maybe this last part will make up for that and it'll be fucking epic. And it was really good, but it was not epic at all. And there was not any violence. And basically what happens is she takes him upstairs and she basically tells him who she is and tortures him mentally. And then basically she says she's going to carve the victim's name on him, Nina. And we never get to see Nina's face the whole movie, even though the whole movie is supposed to be about her. We see her face as like a kid, but we never see any pictures of her. And I thought that was kind of weird, a weird choice, filmmaking wise. Personally, I would have liked to have seen her picture, so that I could have some attachment to her instead of just focusing on this bitchy main girl who just, she wasn't even raped, but she's acting like she's the victim. And she's this evil person going around just like hurting people and or not hurting. I don't know what she's doing, because one of the guys, she lets him go. And she doesn't even do anything to him. And so we never get to see her really doing anything to these people. I mean, we see some blood on her after she was with the first guy, but it's like, I don't know what that means. It's like a couple little tiny streaks of blood, like this is a PG movie. And so she's at the bachelor party with the Brock Turner guy, and basically he overpowers her and breaks free, and then he strangles her to death with a pillow. He suffocates her to death, and I thought that's hilarious, because I thought this is really going against the agenda, because it's like you aren't ignoring the fact that there's a difference between men and women, and you're showing that, like, you know, obviously in real life a guy like that would obviously be able to overpower her, and she would not be able to just, you know, do whatever she wanted to him. And you know, usually in these feminazi movies, you have this tiny little 90-pound woman beating up 200-pound men, and it's just a joke and laughable. And so I was glad, and I thought this is actually a really cool twist. And then the next day there's like a really funny dark comedy moment where he's such a little bitch, and he's acting like he's the victim, and he's like, ooh, ooh. And his friend is like, dude, it's gonna be okay. That was hilarious, because it was just so you know, it was just funny, because they're just so stupid and awful. And then basically they burn her body and dispose of her. And then he's having his wedding, and then we find out that actually she set this up where she would die. And she basically left all the evidence so that it all could be traced back to the Brock Turner guy. The end. Yeah, that's the movie. And what do I think about that? I thought it was very satisfying. I thought it was really good at the end. But overall, it's still really disappointing, because it's not the movie that they showed in the trailers. And honestly, that incident with her had nothing to do with the plot in the movie. Because that girl, Nina, was dead. And so I just don't get what they were doing. I think that overall the script was the main issue of this film, as I say a lot. I mean, I say that constantly because it's true. The script for this movie needed a ton of work, and it needed to just have one or two plots, not like 5 or 6 different plots. So yeah, if you like this video, like it, subscribe, comment. I think, once again, the main actress, Carrie, did a fantastic job. I wish the movie would have been better, because, as I said, it felt like American Psycho for some of it. And if it was as good as American Psycho, I'd be really excited. And I hope I can get to see her in better movies after this, because I think that she's a really good actress. You know, she wasn't good in Wall Street 2 at all. I mean, she really ruined that movie. But she was really good in Inside Llewyn Davis, and she's really good in this. So that's my main takeaway from the movie. I'm gonna be positive about it and just focus on her instead of focusing on the trunk load of this movie's problems. So goodbye, everybody. See you soon for another Christmas movie review, because when it's Christmas time, we should really be watching Christmas movies instead of rape revenge movies.